Let's talk about money and the games that we play to get it. What's up, everybody? J.Do and Jonah here of the Cash Compound. We're the Banking Bros. Well, we're a couple of the Banking Bros. There's a lot of other great guys out there.
That's right.
Who you may be talking to help you understand your money, your wealth, and the growth, and the games we play with money. Jonah, you are a gamer in some regard.
I am. I like games. I play tabletop games a lot. I used to play video games. I don't play them too much anymore. Sometimes.
Yeah, but most of the time when we're talking about gaming out there, we might have some gamers who like to listen to us and watch us. We're normally talking about like virtual and digital stuff these days. But you're a tabletop guy.
Like apps and stuff. Yeah, I like the tabletop games. So a lot of popular ones out there, but I guess everybody knows the classics.
Right? Everyone knows the classics. So we're here to talk about one of them.
You know, the Game of Life and... You know, Sorry,
Scrabble,
playing with kids, Candyland, and Chutes and Ladders, and the one we're going to talk about today, which is
the one everyone loves to hate.
That is correct. That's Monopoly.
Monopoly, right? Okay, so everybody knows the general things about Monopoly. But we just wanted to bring up one or two things and how we can think about using our money and what it's for. So in Monopoly, of course, the object of the game is to end up having the money.
Right.
You can use it, you can spend it, you have it, and other people ran out of it. They don't have any cash flow. They ran out. They went bankrupt.
Yep.
So this is what it's about, though, Jonah. I heard a great analogy from Keith, one of our guys who is out there, one of the Banking Bros, and he recently told me one of the ways to think about infinite banking and the concepts that we teach and what we've learned is to remember the game of Monopoly. First off, what's your piece? Who are you playing with in Monopoly?
I think generally I'm going to use the dog, but if I can't use the dog, I'm going to use the ship.
I'm the guy on the horse.
Okay.
I'm always the guy on the horse.
No
you probably knew that.
I think,
like we sit down with the family, we remember.
I could play the ship, no problem.
Yeah.
But I think I'm choosing the dog. But if I was the ship, if someone else was the ship in the game that I was the dog, I'd move the ship once on accident.
Yes, for sure. Right. Yeah. Okay. So I'm the guy on the horse. All right. So here's the question. What happens when you get your piece, your dog or your ship? What happens when you pass go?
Collect $200.
Collect $200. And that's really the analogy that Keith, one of our guys, was helping me think of. So I was having this conversation with Keith, and he said, you know what? We're going around the circle of life. There's things that we've got to buy, sell. Good things happen to us. Bad things happen to us. We got to pay rent and all that stuff. But when we go by, that's kind of like getting the paycheck.
Okay.
Right? We get it every time we go around. So we know we have to play the game, the rat race. Recently, we talked about cash flow and that game. The Rich Dad game. But we go around, we get $200, but we have to spend it because there's lots of things to do on the board.
Yep.
So here it is. What if every time that we collected dollars, those dollars were going to continue to work for us and collect and grow for us? That's really what infinite banking is about. When you use a whole life policy from a mutual company that pays dividends structured for cash, that means every dollar you may make going around the circle of life or the square,
the game board,
the game board, every time you go around, your dollars can keep earning for you.
Sure, I like that a lot. So so basically what he's drawing the analogy to, what he's comparing is saying, going around the game board of Monopoly, right? Going around, pass go, get $200. But what he's saying is, what you need to do is get your money inside a policy. And so going around the game board would equate to having your money in a policy, making it another year, making it another rotation around the game board. And instead of going around the game board and getting $200, you can go around the game board and have go around life, get the rotation going, and have the insurance company pay you that interest and dividends every time you pass.
Yeah.
And then throughout the year, you spend money on stuff, right? So you can spend the insurance company's money on the rent and the income tax and
community chest,
but hopefully not get out of jail, right?
Right.
Hopefully not. But you can spend their money to buy the properties and to buy the motels and the hotels. I think that's Baltic Avenue and Mediterranean, right? And the railroads and everything else, utilities, right? We've got waterworks and we've got the electric company.
All of the things we have to pay those things.
You use the insurance company's money every time you come around to get the money in your possession and use it to pay for all that stuff. But getting your money inside the game board, where the policy where you can go around and it'll kick out money every time you pass. I like that analogy. I think that's pretty good.
It's just an analogy. Hopefully that doesn't confuse you too much. And a lot of people do have like a visceral, emotional reaction to even thinking about Monopoly. But the thing is, you have to use money throughout your life. All those things that you said are metaphors on the game board about things that we have to spend in real life. And the problem is we're typically spending our money and losing possession of those things. And instead of enjoying a very nice hotel, we don't want to enjoy the good things of life because we're always losing our money. It costs us our money.
Yeah, I agree.
But it doesn't have to be that way if you pay yourself first and get your money growing and working for you. All right. That's the basic things that we wanted to say here, but I've got a quote to back it up.
Okay.
Found this on the internet. So, quote of the day. Life is like Monopoly, with one little difference. When playing the game, everyone knows you have to invest in order to become wealthy and win the game. In real life, most people are just moving around the board, only pass and go. That's what happens when you live paycheck to paycheck and don't invest. Do what you learned as a kid. You can't win the game if you never actually invest and buy some properties.
That's true.
You cannot. You obviously will have to spend your money on other people's properties because I'm about to buy I'm about 4 green houses equals 1 red hotel, baby.
That's right. Yeah, I've got a quote of I've got a comment of the week as well. I've actually got 2. So here's our comment of the week. Coming from Mia the 8 on TikTok.
All right.
She actually saw one of our videos and asked the question, relates to our Monopoly here, our playing the game. Says, when you borrow, is that $2,000 still compounding? So I don't know what video it was she was watching.
Well, we've mentioned, I think there was a video where someone was saying, like, I'm going to put $2,000 in premium and a deposit.
Okay.
So if you borrow, I think what she's asking is if you borrow against those dollars, are you stifling the compounding growth of the $2,000?
Right. Exactly. And the answer to that, Mia, if you're watching, and hopefully you are, maybe we'll post the answer on TikTok here so you can see it and we'll tag you, is it's in the phrasing that you used, actually. You said, when I borrow, is that $2,000 still compounding? So the answer to your question is borrowing means that what you just got did not come from your deposit. If it came from your deposit, it would be called a withdrawal.
Yep.
Borrow is indicating that it wasn't yours to begin with, meaning that your $2,000 or 5 or 10 or whatever you put in is still compounding, still growing, while you can borrow and spend somebody else's. And that's what we're talking about here. Get your money growing. So every time you pass go, our analogy, that insurance company will pay you out interest and dividends while you use their money to do all the things that you need to on the game board.
Yeah.
Right?
So for clarification on this particular podcast episode, if you're watching this only, you haven't seen our other stuff, when you're borrowing, you're not borrowing your dollars, you're borrowing their money. That is cash value. When we talk about that, I don't think we had said that yet today. Cash value. What we always talk about is cup number 2 or the green cup. You're borrowing their dollars while yours continues to compound.
That's right. And somebody else on YouTube said, and that's why we spend that money, the insurance company's money, on assets, on real estate, on businesses, on anything else that brings income into our family.
Yes.
It's a great comment. They don't have a name. It's just a username with a bunch of numbers. But they commented. They
reveal yourself because you're thinking right. We want to work with you.
Absolutely. Very cool. I want to give one shout out before we wrap up today's episode to our fan follow of the week. And that is Barbara Williams, who followed the Cash Compound this last week on Instagram. Hello, Barbara. Thanks for following. We hope you're enjoying the content. Let us know if you've got any suggestions, comments, feedback. We want to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in.
We look forward to talking with you, ladies and gentlemen, very soon about your money, your wealth, and how you can get every dollar working for you and every rotation around the board game of life. The insurance company is going to give you guaranteed growth and money to use to spend on your houses, hotels, and maybe invest in community chest.
There you go.
All right.